Hello everybody, thank you for checking the channel. Well, today is it's my first video on the channel. Unfortunately, it's not the kind of first video that I like to make on the channel related to the music talk that I like to make. Unfortunately, the news are out already that a true legend and an amazing drummer passed away on Tuesday. I'm talking about Neil Peart. Probably some of you by now should know that, or heard the news that he died on Tuesday. It was due to brain cancer. It was a battle that he was holding secret for over 3 years, according to the news that has been released. And yeah, I mean, it's a sad note, but it's part of the topic. Me personally, I feel that it's a great loss for music. I am heavily influenced by Neil's playing style. He was always among my all-time drummer heroes, and to me, it's like an emotional thing because I feel like I lost, in a way, in a sense, I lost a friend that I never met, and he doesn't even know how the way that he lived his mark in my life, and I'm sure that many of you who are watching this video, and the way that he made the music, the way that he innovated, the way that he changed the playing style. And also, an important remark is that he was the brain behind most of Rush's lyrics. He was the lyricist of the band. That's another talent that he had. And yes, so if you don't, I mean, you probably might wondering, just to give a little overview about who Neil Peart is, in case you might wondering, you never know. Well, Neil Peart was the drummer and also the lyricist for the band, the power trio band, Rush. He passed away this Tuesday, as I mentioned, out of the losing the battle with brain cancer. Just to give a little history on Neil Peart's career in Rush, he joined the band in 1974 to replace John Rutsey, and he gave, in my opinion, he gave a very, very special touch to the band. His playing was influenced by jazz. He always quoted Buddy Rich as one of his drumming heroes, and I'm sure that many of us are actually quoting him as our personal drumming hero. At least that's my case. Yes, the first album that he recorded with Rush was Fly By Night, which contains a lot of great songs, like obviously the title track. And yeah, I mean, it was Rush was one of the first bands that I heard when I started out listening to rock music, and I was hooked. And they became my band of choice when it comes to musical content and also for lyrics. And I was blown away by the fact that the drummer who was in charge of writing all those lyrics, to me was unbelievable. You usually tend to believe that it was either the guitarist or the frontman, the vocalist, who kind of takes care of those things. But number one, it's unusual to see the drummer to take that role in a band. And number two, since Neil Peart was an avid reader, he read lots and lots of books, so his mind and his vocabulary was so rich that he was able to write such a great songs. I mean, if you hear any song from Rush, it's just a masterpiece, word by word. It has meaning behind it. It has a message, it has something to say. It's not just like vague writing. It's not just like a filler. It's not just like a bunch of words that are just putting there just to have the singer something to do. He communicated different messages, and that's something that I really appreciate when I categorize something as music. In my opinion, the two main factors, obviously the most important factors on every song is the quality of the musicianship and also the lyrics. Those two things, when they're like when you have a huge amount of both things in one song, to me that's when the magic really happens. And seeing such a brilliant mind like Neil Peart making all those really nice progressions, the odd signatures at times, the breaks, and also, as I mentioned, the lyrics. That's something that really touches you if you appreciate those two factors in music. And that's why I feel like that's something that we all are going to miss, because it's not something that you see that often nowadays. Unfortunately, that's a tragedy. That's a real shame that we don't see that going too often or happening too often in music right now. At least not on that to that extent. So I feel like the music world lost a very brilliant mind when it comes to music playing and music writing. So that is pretty much my take on Neil Peart's passing. I feel, like I said, I feel like we all lost a very brilliant mind. I never had the chance to see them live, which is a real bummer. I'm just hoping that music doesn't die with the people who created it. I'm just hoping that we as musicians might carry the torch and continue to defend and to promote the music that comes from within. The music that is not plastic, the music that is not disposable, the music that is not intended just to make a profit out of it. The music that speaks to us, music that has meaning, music that has a purpose. As you could see, for example, you see bands like Rush that the three guys are just fantastic. Alex Lifeson work on the guitar, Geddy Lee being a like an octopus playing the bass and playing the synths and also singing at the same time. I mean, those are things that not everyone can do. And at besides the skill side, also the feeling that they transmit when they were playing, that's something that, as I mentioned, we need to defend and we need to preserve for future generations. I'm just hoping that because I don't know, in the span of 2-3 years, we have lost so many great names in music. And to start 2020, it's a shame to see that Neil Peart is joining to that list. It's sad, it's painful. And but all in all, as I said, we are the ones who are, still remain here, and we need to continue that legacy. We need to continue to innovate, to improve ourselves, our music playing, to bring something new to the table, just like they did on their time. And to me, that's I feel like it's a mission for every musician to find ways to innovate, find ways to communicate, and some challenging to our thoughts and to our reasoning. I think music is such a powerful tool for communication, and I believe that the musicians and the bands of old, they did a great job to bring very deep thoughts and phrases that are still ringing to our minds till this modern day and time. I think they were like they became timeless, and they were intended in such a way that will be relevant for the future, not just for today. It's not like, you know, the songs that we hear for a couple of months in the radio and they are completely forgotten afterwards, because they were like completely empty, besides just, you know, being catchy or being repetitive. So, well, I think I'm talking a little too much here. But yes, I just wanted to share my thoughts about this huge loss the world of music has suffered. It's a person that will be greatly missed for all that he did for the music industry, for his great talent, for his amazing collaboration to the music world. It's something that I personally will be always grateful for, and I'm sure that lots of you guys will be as well. So let's celebrate Neil Peart's life and work, and let's keep it alive. The person has passed, but I'm sure that his work lives forever. His thoughts, the amazing things that he did are here to stay. And I just ask you guys that not to leave all that great work to be forgotten and to be taken for granted. Always to keep it present. And like I said, that might help us to be inspired and to be the ones to lift off the torch and carry on with the race that has to be completed, has to be continued. And yes, it's sad news. I feel like I said, like I feel very blue. I feel very touched about the news. But like I said, people that are like me who've been listening to Rush and to Neil Peart's works for quite a while will understand that. And I'm hoping that myself, along with the rest of you that are Rush fans and Neil Peart fans as well, might help me to continue with this legacy and to have his memory to keep going forevermore, because I think it's worth it. I think he did for everything that he did without knowing in our lives. I mean, it was unbelievable, and he probably passed away without knowing it. How big and how great the impact was that he made on the music industry, and also in our lives as musicians as well. So, well, like I said, it's just a little not so happy note, but at the same time, it's hopeful and it's inspiring, because it's a reminder for us musicians to keep going and not to give up and not to be discouraged for these things that are happening. You know, like I've noticed that the musicians that we have lost in the last 3 or 4 years, they haven't been not even getting into the 70 years old. I mean, they were like late 60s, and well, they're no longer with us. But as I said, Neil and every artist that we have lost, their works are still with us, and there are things that needs to be cherished and needs to be promoted and continued for years to come and for generations to come, so they won't be lost, they won't be disregarded just because we have lost the minds behind them. So, well, that was pretty much what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you find it somewhat inspiring to keep going and to do something new, to do something different, to dare to experiment, to try new things. That's where the great things are coming up. When we see beyond what's already done, and we open our minds to the possibilities, which are endless, in my opinion. So, yes, I hope that this could be inspiring and motivating to you, instead of being just gloomy and dark. We're heartbroken for the news, however, we won't let that to completely bring us down. And just, you know, and I'm sure that Neil Peart will want the same thing. So let's keep going making music, let's keep improving, let's keep creating new stuff, let's keep opening our minds and setting up to new horizons, because who knows, we might be the ones who will save true music, because as you know, the world really needs it. So I'm counting on you guys. Thank you so much for watching. More videos to come, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.